recorded.
I would like to call the Public Works and Protection meeting on September 7th, 2021 to order, please. Roll call.
Gary Paul,
Here.
Allison Williams. Here. Jake Krieger,
Here.
Joan Euclid. Here. And John Burnett's excused.
There we go. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item number 4, action on the agenda. Everything up in order? I do need a motion.
Move to approve. A second.
Second, first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Action on the minutes from July 20th, 2021 at 6 o'clock.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 6, comments from the public. Must be limited to items not on the agenda. Must state name and address. Limited to 5 minutes. Board rule is to listen and not discuss the items. Personal issues cannot be discussed, including individuals' names. Board is not to take action at this meeting. Do we,
She's on the agenda, though. Aren't you on the agenda?
you're on the agenda? What are you here for?
I'm here because I'm trying to get candidates accept me for a bartending.
Okay, you're on the
You're on the
agenda then.
agenda.
Okay, anybody else would like to speak on the public's comment? Again, anybody for public comment? If not, we will move on to action items. Action items A. Action on Class A liquor license request for Bountiful Board GB LLC doing business as Bountiful Board Green Bay. I believe, Chris, you are on the docket for that.
Thank you. Ashley Grant is here, the owner of Bountiful Boards Green Bay LLC, doing business as Bountiful Boards Green Bay, is requesting a Class A liquor license. Bountiful Boards Green Bay is a licensed charcuterie and fromagerie which supplies cheese, cured meats, and a variety of accompaniments. Ms. Grant is looking to get a Class A license to be able to sell corked wine bottles along with allowing, wine sampling. The booth will be locked when the business isn't open. All licensing and fee requirements have been met.
Okay. Any questions or comments? If not, I got a couple comments reading through the information here, looking at the way the property set up for selling liquor, meaning Class A liquor, which he's looking for a wine license. I do not feel the security of this type of product is secured properly or placed in a secure place where other people can't get at it. Barn doors and lading of the material on the doors just do not meet our requirements as being secure. That's my 2 cents worth on it. Anybody else got any comments?
I guess one of the questions I'd have is kind of, I think I'd like to hear from Ashley about kind of what her business model is and kind of where you're, what prompted this request and kind of where you like to go. So if you could possibly step up here and.
All right, we need to open the floor to have her come up.
Yeah.
A motion to open the floor, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, approved to open the floor. State your name and address, please.
Sure. Ashley Grant, 1578 Fox Court, Green Bay, 54313.
Okay.
So I guess my question is actually, so you're coming in and asking for a liquor license, which is going to include hard liquor, wine, because unfortunately, the way the state is set up, you can't split them.
Yeah.
So to Gary's point, normally you need to have a very secure area for that type of thing, and I'm not sure that your facility there lends itself to that without some sort of remodeling. So I'm kind of trying to understand, you're in here, you're requesting that. What are you looking at? What's your business plan going forward that you're adding this? Trying to understand a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, absolutely. So my business, I do all the charcuterie boards, so pre-made platters and meat and cheeses, all sorts of things on the boards. And then I also have a small fromagerie, so I sell all the cheeses, all the meats, everything that I sell on the boards is for sale in my shop as well. And the reason I wanted to get a wine license is, one, what goes better than wine with cheese? And I also have been hosting some smaller classes over at the market where I do mozzarella making or charcuterie board classes, and being able to have the wine sales, being able to do some sampling and having that pair with my cheeses is my main objective. I don't know if you're familiar with Nala's Fromagerie that was open over in Bellevue area off of GV, exit there for many years. He just actually retired this past February, but he did very similar to what I am doing, but at a much larger scale in a full shop. All the cheeses, all the wines. He had a wine bar and he had the whole gamut. I don't want to do all of that, but I would like to be able to offer just some really beautiful wines that you really can't find anywhere else, similar to what I do with most of my cheeses. And in regards to the actual booth itself, I know that the barn door idea doesn't seem super secure. But when I made it, I specifically made it because I know that I'm not going to keep normal shop hours. I have 3 kiddos and a husband, and I'm not in the shop, it's 5-7 days a week. I'm in the shop 2 to 3 times a week at most. And so when my doors shut, I have them fully locked. You can't break into them. Your hands can't reach through or anything. So it is fully secure. There's no one able to slide anything out. Because I've got tons of boards and small little things in there that people, if it was more penetrable, could very easily grab. So I don't know if that helps any of the hesitation.
Chris, I need your help on this. She's applying for a Class A license. That does include hard liquor and a full array of alcohol, period, I'm going to go and say.
Well, she wouldn't be able to have beer.
She
or
will
any-
not?
No, or fermented malt beverage. That's not part of this. This is hard liquor and wine.
Okay, all right. Then she would be taking up one of our numbers that we are obliged to go by
Correct.
as far as our community?
The village of Ashwaubenon has a quota on those, yes.
Okay, the quota, okay. Anybody, Jay, you got your answers?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand where you're going with it, and I get the connection.
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced, number one, when I looked at your hours, things like that, I'm not sure. Let's just put it that way. I get
Okay.
where you're trying to get to, understand it. I also understand the 3 kiddos and everything too, so I get that too. So yeah, I'm not convinced that it's the best use of our liquor license at this point.
What would convince you the other way?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, your hours are very limited, okay? I get why they are. I understand that. Don't get me wrong. But I think if you were a little more, number one, if we had the facility a little more secure, that would make me feel more comfortable. Plus the fact you were open more hours and maybe you were doing more classes, like every night of the week and things like that. Kind of like, I'm guessing the place in Bellevue is probably doing more of that?
Nope, they shut down. He retired this February, but my kids are officially back in school.
Yep.
So my hours are going to be expanding. I started this business just this past year, so it's kind of slowly just becoming more and more. So I do have the intention of increasing my hours, being more present. We actually just had a woman come in. She's going to be signing a lease, who's going to be doing crepes in the area. And we're planning on doing classes already from when she moves in. So all of that stuff will continue to amplify up. And I think if I can bring wine to that, I'd be able to have more hours and justify it just with the sales and everything as well.
Let me ask you this. Are you the only one in that building at all times?
In my building, so I'm inside of the Revolution Market. So it's a small version of like Milwaukee Public Market, Seattle Public Market. There's numerous businesses throughout it.
So there's several businesses
So
in there?
currently it's myself and one other business.
Okay.
And we have another 2 of them that are kind of looking at this time.
Okay.
But again, that was part of the reason that I did do like the doors around mine. Everyone else's booths are wide open. No one else has doors that completely encapsulate what they're doing.
Okay, okay. I have a hard time people coming and going and you're not there. To me, and I'm not saying it's not a negative thing, but it looks like a part-time business having alcohol there. We in the village here secure that very well. Grocery stores, they got a big metal gate that runs across it. You can look in, but you're not going to go anywhere. Those are the things that we look at when we're giving a liquor license. So look, that's my opinion on it. I would not go along with that at all. So, anybody else got some comments?
Safety does.
Go ahead.
From a public safety point of view, and speaking with Chief Ewell, who unfortunately has a scheduled conflict tonight, concerns from the public safety end are just that this application, this projected plan adequately meets the security requirements. From what's been reviewed thus far, in our opinion, it does not appear to meet the adequate security requirements for this type of license.
It does not.
No, not from what we've seen thus far.
Okay, okay. So that's Public Works' comment. Anybody else? If not, I'm going to make a motion to deny the request. You can come back and present it to the village board on the 28th of September. So I am ruling to deny it.
I'll second that.
Okay, I've got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? If not, motion carried. September 28th.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Action on appeal for denial operation, Destiny A. Smith. Chris, you're on again.
Attached in the packet is a letter from Destiny Smith appealing her denied application for an operator license in the village. Denial of the first application was due to failure to disclose criminal history. The second application was denied due to 2 or more drug convictions. Ms. Smith claims she has not been in trouble since her last offense in 2014. She has worked for Grand Central Station Airport for over 8 years, and most of that time had an operator license.
Okay. Question I have before we get into it, how can she have an operator's license when she was denied?
She had one, and this is a renewal. Correct?
Sorry, because the chief had new rules made, and from my understanding, the village approved that, so it's by his policy.
By a new policy?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, public safety?
This appeal was also discussed with Chief Yule as well, and in reference to the guidelines that were agreed upon between public safety and the village. Following those guidelines, the recommendation of public safety is that this would not meet criteria for issuance, and therefore should be denied. Reasons for that being the criminal history and that previous failure to disclose.
Okay, thank you. And this is the second request here. When was how about, far back does the first request go? Has that been within the last year? I'm not seeing.
The first one looks like it was denied in July.
The when?
July,
July of this year.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Destiny, are you here? Can we open the floor and have you talk? Can I get a motion to open the floor, please?
Move to open the floor.
Second.
Motion carried. Come on up, state your name and address.
Destiny Smith, 520 Elmore Street, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 54303.
Pull the mic up to your mouth, please. Okay, tell us your story.
Well, I've been working at Grand Central Station now in Ashwaubenon on and off for the last 8 years. I've been back for the past 6 as of September 10th. I've had a liquor license every year that I've worked there. It's just I went through a renewal. The first time I submitted the application for the renewal, I had went off information that I had gotten off of CCAP, which apparently did not have all of the accurate information. So the clerk gave me another website to go to where I printed out my record and refiled. And I don't have any new charges, so I understand that the laws have changed, but I've maintained a liquor license, I believe, for 5 years in a row. So I haven't had any infractions, or to the best of my knowledge, have never sold to anybody underage. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm defending here.
Okay. Okay, anybody comments?
What's the rule? Right now it's denied based off of the drug conviction, is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct. Under the guideline that 2 or more drug-related convictions would result in a recommendation for denial.
And regardless of the time frame, right? That's
Correct.
the guideline.
Does that fall in any of the 5-year, 10-year rules that are out there?
10 years is the felony one.
There was a felony here?
I don't.
No.
It was not a felony, it was a misdemeanor.
No, those 2
believe-
convictions were misdemeanor convictions,
Oh.
one in 2014 and one in 2003.
I'd like to also point out that the one that was from 2014, the incident was actually 2008. So, I mean, we're looking at both of them being, over 10 years. I
Okay.
keep myself out of trouble. I work. This place is like my family, my customers and my coworkers, and I don't want to have to find a new job.
Okay.
And I believe you brought your employer here with you. I like to respect if you'd like to say anything. I always feel it's appropriate if you'd like to or not, so.
State your name and address, please.
Jacob Anderson, 1391 Finch Lane, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 54313. Yeah, I'm here as representing the employer of Destiny, and I can speak to her work performance. She's always showed up on time, never missed any work, no job warnings or got in trouble with anything. Like I said, she's always wanted to pick up shifts, help us out, and it kind of came to a shock to us that she was denied. So I just wanted to come here and show her support and show the board that she is a valued employee. Good example, every time I know Destiny's working, I know everything's going to get done, and she is a solid worker. So I'm just here to speak about her performance on the job over the past 8 years. It would be a shame to lose her over a technicality, I guess, and a rule change, especially when she's kept clean all these years and done, just a great job working hard and trying to make amends for poor choices in the past. And if there is a 10-year felony rule, it seems odd that there isn't a misdemeanor time frame, especially dating back to 2003. But I'll leave that in your hands. But I just wanted to speak from what I've experienced with Ms. Smith.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So you said that this 2014 thing, that actually happened in 2008?
Right. The charges weren't even brought up until several years later.
Do we have any other information on that?
No, I do not. Just the summary information from the criminal history report.
And it's
lists out
calling out 2014, not 2008 then, huh?
That's the conviction date, so that could certainly be stemming from a much earlier occurrence, but that's just the conviction date.
Just seems a long 6 years in between. Seems like a long time, so.
It is, and there could be any number of reasons for that. I'd be a little cautious about speculating as to why, but yeah, the dates we're going off of here were the conviction dates.
But as far as you can see, there's absolutely nothing on her record since that 2014 incident then.
Correct. The last entry would be that conviction in 2014. Nothing else listed after that on the criminal history report.
Okay.
And what was the 14 one?
That was a misdemeanor possession of THC and obstructing case.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to grant the appeal to Destiny A. Smith to grant her liquor license.
You're,
To grant the appeal.
okay.
And I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second to grant her the license. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
So would final vote go to village board since it's a tie?
Still goes to the village board on the 28th. You can come back at that and apply again.
Regardless of if it did go by tonight, it would still have to go to village
Still have to
board,
go
just
there
so
anyway.
you know, so.
Yeah.
And there will hopefully be more than 4 people,
We'll
so
see,
we won't end up.
see you on the 28th.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to find out if more about the 2008, 2014. I'd really like to understand, because if it's 2008, then we wouldn't have denied it to start with. So I'd like to understand why there's that 6-year gap.
Jay, I think it's 2 drug convictions regardless of timeline.
I thought it was after 10 years, you didn't have to.
The felony is 10 years.
Okay.
I think his.
Joel, you got something to
We
say
can
on it?
double check, but
Yeah.
No,
That would be
I
correct.
was just going to
according
be available if there was a
Oh,
question.
okay, okay. All right,
Okay.
September 28th,
28th.
6:30.
thank you.
All right, item C, application for, action on appeal for denial operations license Denise Johnson. Chris, 3 times.
Attached to the packet is a letter from Desiree Johnson appealing her denied application for an operator license in the village. Denial is due to failure to disclose criminal history and is a habitual offender. Ms. Johnson works for Jackson Point Sitco at 2710 South Packerland Drive.
Okay, Officer Murphy, do you want to add on to this?
The position of public safety is to deny the license application for Ms. Johnson. Again, just by following the agreed upon guidelines. Reason for that being 2 drug convictions, 1 misdemeanor, 1 municipal ordinance. And then also several, repeated offenses, 1 in 03, 1 in 07, 1 in 06. And then also a 2017 criminal traffic offense. Totality of that being opinion of public safety that she would be a habitual offender at that point. Also a failure to disclose one of those convictions on her license application.
Okay, Denise, would you like to
Her
come
name's
up and give us
Desiree.
your story?
That's right.
Yeah.
Give us your, open the floor.
So
Motion to
moved.
open the floor.
So moved.
First, second, all in favor?
Yep.
Okay, motion carried. Denise, give us the name and
It's
address.
Desiree, by the way, sir.
That's right.
Desiree, that's my name.
Desiree? I'm
Yep.
sorry, Desiree.
I just want to be the local gas station girl to sell beer to all the old men at night.
All right, give us your name and your address too.
What was that?
Name and address for the record.
Where I live?
Yeah.
2675 Packerland. It's right across the street from where I live.
Oh, okay. Okay, give us your story.
Well, I'm finally able to get out of the house without my kids. They're all finally in school. I have had kids a long time, and I'm first time stepping out. And that's the closest place I could get a job, and I'm just asking for it so I could be left alone there so I can close at night.
Okay, you were here this summer, if I remember right, too. All right, any questions?
I just have a comment. On the bottom of the sheriff's denial, it says failure to disclose because you're a habitual offender. Do you agree with that?
No.
You don't think you're a habitual offender?
Well, I mean, it was a little bag of weed, so I did, I did break the law, but that was a long time ago.
Not that long.
I was going to say, I think you had did you have a 14 one? I thought I heard officer say.
17.
Can you tell me what the charge was for?
The 2017 one was,
Or 17?
yes, I misspoke. It was not criminal traffic. It was a OWI
Okay.
traffic.
Yeah, I was learning how to drive a stick shift, and it was an old rust bucket, and it died, and they just pulled me over because it died.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get everything in order so I can be able to live on without anybody's help, because my family always provided for me, and this is actually hard for me to do. I've been an at-home mom for 17 years. Never had a real job before.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? Jay, you're thinking.
No, I'll make the motion to deny the license.
Second.
You got a first and a second to deny. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This as well will go to the board
Yeah, I'm gonna go to-
Yeah.
on September
same thing.
28th, if you'd like to come back at 6:30.
Okay.
Item number D, or letter D, Mr. Martin, action on ordinance number 09-1-21 regarding heavy traffic roads.
Yes, good evening, everybody. What this ordinance revision is with respect to, if you go through the village, you'll see that we have green and white street signs, and then we have black and white street signs. The black and white street signs are the ones that list the roads that, as you have larger equipment or larger vehicles, you can drive on, as opposed to a residential street, if you will. So every few years, the village goes through and cleans up the ordinance for those streets, How they change, most of the time it's based off of construction or development that happens. There's some grammatical and spelling corrections on these, but there's been a couple of street ads, Bart Starr Drive, Brett Favre Pass. In particular, the name change of Highway 41 changed over the past few years. Fernando Drive, if you remember about 3 or 4 years ago, Fernando Drive was the county highway. That became Village. Main Avenue became county roadway, so there is a change there. And I think the last one was South Ridge Road over by the Titletown development with Mike Obinger Way connecting into Ridge Road. Had to do a little name change there in terms of cleaning up that section of the ordinance. So with that, I'll take any questions. Otherwise, it'd be recommended for approval and forwarding to the village board.
All right, Doug, it's just a cleanup.
Yes, sir.
For the year, as you said, a yearly thing.
Correct.
Any questions for Doug? Not, I'll make a motion for approval.
Second.
I guess I first did, huh?
Yep.
Okay, we got a motion, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Doug, you're on again for ordinance number 09-2-21, amending section 7-4-100 regarding no parking.
Similar item here. This is for no parking regulations. Basically adding a few areas with Alden Circle, the Alden Station development coming to fruition over the past year. There are some no parking restrictions on that development. Sand Acres Drive, this is where Highland Ridge subdivision is going in. That was approved earlier this year. Right where that road, Highland Ridge Drive connects to Sand Acres Drive, that we have to have some no parking on both sides of that intersection. So you'll see that in the ordinance. And the final one on Center Street, this is at Cormier School where the new drop-off area is. The new drop-off area is a little further north than the existing one, so the no parking has to get extended past that location. So those are the 3 cleanup items that are in this one.
Okay. Another cleanup job that Doug is in charge of. No questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the amendment to ordinance number 09-2-21, amending section 7-4-100 regarding no parking.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Last but not least, anything for next agenda? Bring it to the staff, please. And if I am right, number 9, we need a motion to adjourn if we got nothing.
Move to adjourn.
All righty, first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.